It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And we had a catastrophe in the garden. I came out this morning and look who was laying down. She completely rotted and came crashing down. So, I am not too horribly upset about this, and I'll tell you why. There's a big difference between crown rot and root rot when it comes to succulents. Crown rot is where the plant starts to turn black up here at the top. That's death. There's typically no coming back from that. But if the roots get wet, and honestly guys, I don't know how it even happened, because it clearly, just from watering the gutters, I must have gotten this guy too wet. He's clearly very, very, very drought tolerant. So anywho, if you have a plant that does this, that collapses from the base, the quickest fix is to start cutting until you get up to healthy tissue. So we're going to start making some cuts here. Well, that's not healthy. Starting to see daylight. There we go. Okay, so you can clearly see the difference between that and this. So this is good, clean, healthy tissue. Now, if you have some root tone or powder that you'd like to put on the cut, you can do that. I'm not going to bother. But I'm not going to be as cavalier as I tend to be, where I tell you, oh, don't worry about it. Don't stress. No need to harden it off. Just stick it in the ground and don't water for a while. This time I'm going to let this aloe scab and harden off. So I'm going to move this guy to the shade, allow that to harden off, and then I will re-sink this plant into the ground. Let's, just for fun, see what's going on down there, shall we? Let's dig out and see what we find. Okay. Well, it is wet and kind of soggy. I don't see any evidence of pests. It smells good. It smells like wet dirt. But clearly the plant still too much moisture. It rotted. The ground is, it's not, really, really wet, but it's not dry either. So it would also be a good idea for me to let this soil dry. And you know what? As I'm sitting here in real time, I'm thinking that a good strategy, because I don't want to lose this plant. I mean, look, it's still fine. Look at it. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I think I'm going to put it in a pot. That way I can control the water better. Making sure that it's not going to get even a drop for until I'm yanking on it and nothing is happening, because those roots are just so tight in that container. So on Walkabout Wednesdays now, we will add this to our stable of plants to check in on, and together we'll walk through and you'll see how this plant is absolutely salvageable. Also, now that I'm looking at it from the back, I see some worrisome striations here that look like aloe mite possible. And that's another thing. When your plant is pouting and stressed out, it's very susceptible to insects and diseases. Its immune system is compromised. So this poor plant, we're going to do everything we can to protect and preserve it. I don't see anything happening, upwards where the new growth is. So, yeah, in here. here too. So I'm going to get some a product with imidacloprid in it, like the bare tree and shrub, and I'm going to go after this and see if I can nip that aloe mite in the bud, see if we can get some roots going, and see if this plant won't live to grace the garden for another day. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day.